flow of a buffet,
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter what it was.
He just gets you any of that dessert pizza.
I'll tell you what I did get. Yeah, I got like a banana split. I'll tell you what I got was good.
Go ahead and let's go ahead and go
I was
live.
surprised how good the ribs were.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go live, and I'll share it onto the.
Hey, can y'all meet with Ben Blake in here?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
We're gonna meet with him back there.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
Are you coming in here?
No, I'm gonna use conference room with
Hey,
We're out
you
here.
got numbers for us yet? For that? Why bring those couple in for Barfield? What we need to do? Okay, that's fine. I didn't know if you had any.
Hey,
Hey, you guys are live?
Hey, John Jones is the greatest. John C. Jones is the greatest.
Well, Muhammad Ali.
You think what's
You got 1A and 1B.
Yeah.
what's your gut for 20 grand more? You think? I mean, not holding you to it, but I mean,
I don't even want to say anything.
okay. All right. I got a lady coming in Thursday too.
That's how you get in trouble sometimes.
I know.
Hey,
You
we're
think there'll be any at
live.
3? Hey, will there be any at this number at all?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's all I need to know. Hey, that's all I need.
We're live, kids. We're live. Please share.
Are we live? Hey, hold on. Now we're ready. Eyebrows. Right. Flavor. Oh, are we live on Facebook?
Yeah, but we're not on my page yet, so you can talk.
You're live on YouTube.
To the millions of YouTubers out there, we want to thank you for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
For tuning in.
Who is that?
Hey, Jessica. Hello? Hey, we fix to do our real estate 101. Can I call you back right after? Hey, watch us on there. Chime in for us. All right, bye-bye. Okay,
We
all
are
right,
live.
thank
We
you,
have
bye.
our first viewer, Ashley Ward, joining us.
Ashley, so hey, we're trying to get all this ready.
No, it's not. We got our producer in the audience back here in the back.
I know we're live, but could you sign this right now?
I didn't think it's mine.
Here, take it. I'll give you one.
All right, kids, it's time. It is time. I don't even know if this made any sense what I put on there. So it's 1:01. I'm a minute late. I went over by 1 minute, but hey, you should see me. It's time. It's time to get this party started. Everybody, thank you for 1, 2, 3, 4. There's probably 5 or 6 of you in the audience. I appreciate you coming here. Weatherman, let's keep it down. I appreciate that. Every Wednesday, me and AKA the Weatherman come to you live from GTT Studios at John Jones Real Estate. And we talk about relative topics to Murfreesboro, Tennessee real estate. We like to make it informative. We like to make it educational. But most of all, we like to have fun. Don't we, Weatherman?
I agree totally.
And before every show...
Hey, you are rather stunning in this lighting today.
It's all about the lighting. Thank you, Kathleen, the one we can't do it without. But before every show, we do like to thank our sponsors. Weatherman wraps that up, and Weatherman is very creative with who he wants to thank. So today, who are you thanking, Weatherman?
We got 2 folks, and 2 folks that are near and dear to our hearts. One of them is Amy Kane at Premier Title. Amy is probably one of the best in the business. She definitely has a tremendous amount of knowledge. Her whole team over there takes great care of us. Amy, we could not do this without you, and we want to thank you for continuing to have our checks early.
Let me tell you, keep going with me. I'm sorry.
And we also got our friend, our buddy, the Big Kahuna with Aloha Heating and Air. Guys that were getting into this fall season and were getting into needing that heat check, but he just took care of everybody's AC. Don't forget the Big Kahuna to take care of all your AC and heating needs. And guys, this guy is on point. He comes out to your house and he still gets his hands dirty. That's what I like about him.
Does he get his hands dirty?
He does, man. That sucker knows his stuff.
Man, you know, every time I'm having a little meltdown, a little baby meltdown, I can't see comments. My comments are not working. It's making me,
He's on Facebook.
it's making me angry. Hey, today, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Weatherman, you don't even know this. But hey, if you want to call into this show right here, you're more than welcome to. If you want to challenge any of my opinions or our beliefs, you can call in and confront us. 615 867-3020. Say, hey, I want to talk to those dudes on TV right now. Anybody watching out there, if you see this show after our broadcast, you can call 895-7677 and ask for GTT. You're the greatest. Thank you very much, cousin Charlie. So every week we come to you and we want to provide interesting content. We're trying to grow a brand. We want 131,000 people. We want everybody to know me. Ain't that right?
That's right.
We want everybody to know me. That's the purpose of the show. So if you would be so kind, if you would like our stream, if you would leave comments, ask questions, call in. But most importantly, if you will share our stream, if you will hit share, all you got to do is share it onto your stream, and you will go into the drawing for one $20 gift card to my favorite restaurant, the Alley on Main.
To correct you.
What?
I only have to have the phone. Guys, it's a $25 gift card to the Alley on Main.
What did I say?
20.
I'm sorry, 25. It's $25. Weatherman, once again, thank you for bailing me out, friend.
And guys, the Alley on Main is one of the best restaurants in Murfreesboro. It's got a great vibe. Sean and those guys over there and his wife are wonderful, wonderful people when you go in. And we asked today at lunch, what is their special sauce? And to me, it's just the hospitality, it's the atmosphere. The food is outstanding. But guys, go check them out at the Alley on Main when you get a chance.
All right, we asked this question yesterday, and we had a lot of people. This is a hot topic. It's hot with people selling their homes. It's even hotter with agents. And it's even hotter with the pissed off agents that don't get a chance to show the house. Woo. So here's what we're talking about. Have you been driving down? Uh-oh, Jessica Blackwell. What? I can't read because of my contacts. What is Jessica Blackwell asking us? But you read that and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to line you with where we are today. Especially under $300,000 Murfreesboro, we have an inventory problem. That means there's not enough houses out there to fulfill the demand. Now, there's like 3 or 4 people that are buying multiple houses. They're these big funds that have all this money, and they don't even look at the house, Kathleen. We got my buddy Blair Brasswood here as well. They don't even look at these houses. So the moment it's listed, one of their agents sees it, and they start sending offers, okay? So
Sight unseen.
Sight unseen. They make very close to list price offers, very, very lenient. Inspection language in there. They'll close within 30 days. They're very accommodating. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you're a buyer, if you're a home owner, they're very hard to compete with. So there's probably, 4 or 5 of them maybe locally?
Absolutely. Tony Woodall join. Charlie, if you see the question, you can ask
Charlie,
the question.
cousin Charlie, your job is to make sure. Your job is to make sure that 132,000 people know me, and I'm going to take it personal if they don't know me by the end of the show. So if there's a question, please let us know. Jessica Blackwell had a question. So I'm trying to set the stage for what we're dealing with. And real estate is never fair, especially if you're networked in with people. If you've got relationships, you've got a competitive advantage. So agents out there get very disappointed if they never get a chance for their client to see you're coming soon. That's where our problems are. We're putting coming soon signs out. We're doing this.
Ignite.
We're doing this, or hey, excuse me, the real estate community does this because this is a great way to drive potential leads. Buyers may call the sign, right?
Right.
So I'm just trying to let you know there's going to be pros and cons, and we'll be happy. If you want to call in here and challenge me on any of this, 615-867-3020. So, hey, let's go ahead and start with some pros.
So here, you said something first before you start with the pros. The big fight in real estate is 2 words: coming soon.
Yes.
And so those coming soon signs means it ain't yet here. And so that's where it causes a lot of conflict. This is what happens that we see in this market. We're not the only one. It's coming soon. Everybody's driving by, and you start getting all these phone calls. What do I do with the phone calls?
What do you do? What do you do with them?
No, I just what everybody's thinking. I mean, what do I do with all these 15, 20 people making all these crazy offers out loud, and this is what we'll do, this is who we are, our offer will be great.
Yep. So let's say, hey, we've done a few of these on our existing homes where we go out there, we talk to them, and the people have identified where they want to move. A lot of times people don't want to make an offer until they know their next house. Therefore, they've made an offer contingent upon selling theirs, which is not the best way to do it. So during that 10 days or so, there may be a coming soon sign. Well, it does not have, when you do that, you're limited to who comes by it, or our social media presence, or your social media presence can help build an audience or potential buyers. So, hey, everybody, please share this stream. If you shared, I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to look and find who I want to get that gift card to. And I'm thinking it could go to you, Weatherman, because you might be the only one that shared it. So, what are you hearing from some of your agent friends out there? And it's no fun to let people down.
Here's the problem. If we got it coming soon, and I don't mind telling you, we had one this weekend. And I'm not going to tell you the agents that bought it yet because they made a great offer. But at the end of the day, if 15 people want to see it, 14 people are going to be mad. So at this point, somebody made a great offer, pretty much sight unseen. And at the end of the day, I had to present that offer to my seller. And so my seller made the decision, do I take this offer or do I let it go to market? Well, guess what? They found a house they wanted. They had to sell their house first. It was a no-brainer to them. It was done, over with, clean offer, done deal. Now, that means we had to deal with a buttload of phone calls. But at the end of the day, if somebody really wanted to buy it, they could have wrote an offer up, sight unseen, and I'd have had to present it.
And here's where agents probably, and I hate to say this because I'd be one too, okay? I would probably call or send them that, hey, give me some info on that. You got to get a lot more aggressive.
Absolutely.
You got to get a lot more proactive, and you got to demand to get into it or whatever it takes. Because, again, there's a lot of buyers fighting for few homes out there right now. So it's hard for them. So,
and it's how we make our living. And the inventory is so low, we're trying to hold on to these buyers to find a house, and we keep losing, and we keep losing, and we keep losing. And eventually, you're going to lose that client because somebody else will just happen to have the house. So it's a lot of stress and a lot of pressure on the agent. It's a lot of stress and pressure on the buyer, the sellers, everybody. It's not a fun situation to be in. And unfortunately, I've been on the other side a bunch of times.
That's right. Hey, our girl Belinda Andrew, hey, one of these sponsors
of
the show, Belinda Andrew. Hey, if you're going to go out there and buy a house, it does help you. And this is probably illegal to say, but if you're pre-qualified by Belinda, that's like you're a AAA rated bond.
Yes.
That's what that means. So Belinda Andrew's pre-qualifications mean more than just about everybody else's. So, hey, back to the topic. Here's the con that we're going to constantly get about this. You could be leaving money on the table if you go ahead and take that offer. Well, that's probably the only con that I can think of ultimately, because people are going to say, well, you could have gotten more offers, you could have gotten more money. Let's go ahead and deal with the con right now. We could have potentially got more money. What is our thought on that, Weatherman?
Most of the time when you overpay for something, there's an ulterior motive in your mind that I can get something back. And so a lot of times, even if you overpay, the way you get it back is, what if it doesn't appraise? So that's our big stipulation. So, hey, there's a trick out there amongst agents, and I know most of the Rutherford County agents don't do this. And so here's what a lot of people do. They'll say, I'll pay $10,000 over appraisal, no matter. Well, guess what? You still don't. If you don't have $10,000, you still get out for the financial contingency. So at the end of the day, once you get to that far, sometimes you, like the seller, will go ahead and sell it anyway. So there's a lot of tricks going on in this market to get people houses. And so it's very aggressive agents are doing this. Swapping loans is another thing that people do. But when you go to multiple offers and you go to that, you always have a couple red flags to look for. And most of the time it's, I overpay for this house. Buyer's remorse comes in very, very quickly.
Okay, so let's go ahead and position this if you're a seller. Whenever Weatherman, be careful, big man, be careful. Whenever we're going out there to list your house, we're not listing it at a price lower than what others have sold for. Right. Every seller out there now wants to break the last sale.
Yes.
So we're already at every listing, we're already in a position to where, hey, this may not appraise. We're already trying to set record highs. So what we're doing, here's my opinion. Whenever you list, or whenever you're doing a coming soon, the best time to sell your house is when somebody wants it. You can type that down right there, Blair Braswell or Cousin Charlie. The best time is when somebody wants it. use the MLS as your leverage. If you don't want to pay this, you can just wait. We'll put it on the market, and then the market will decide what we're really worth. So a lot of these people that are saying, well, if you'd have listed, you could have probably driven that price up. Let me tell you something. Just because you've got a coming soon price does not mean that's what the coming soon buyer will pay.
Right. So here's a couple downfalls. So right now in the market, if you have a 250 house or let's just make it tough. If you have a 220 house on the north side, which we did, guess what? There are no 220 houses sold on the north side. So guess what that means? I don't have any appraisals at 220 on the north side. So it doesn't make a difference what I sold my house for. I have to sell that sucker to the bank. And so the bank has to tell me, hey, this is what I found for you to sell it. So there's a lot of things that go into these deals. So when you sit down with a seller and you go over price, the first thing they ask you is, what do you think we ought to list it at? Well, it's your house. You have to tell us. We can show you comps, and we give our buyer or seller, these are the pros and cons of taking an offer before the MLS, and these are the pros and cons of multiple offer.
Okay. Who in here has sold a client on the buyer side a coming soon deal? Is anybody, well, wait a minute, you're up here.
Oh.
Blair Braswell, okay, so let me ask you a few questions. Hey, call in, tell them to call in, girl. Hey, did your buyer, would they rather go ahead on a coming soon? They know first off, there's no room for negotiation.
Yeah.
Did you even have to discuss that with them?
Went there with them, but pretty much laid it down that before it hits the market, if you want this house, you're gonna have to pay what they're asking for it,
If not more.
if not more.
Okay,
Exactly.
you may even have to say this. You may even have to say you may have to pay a little bit more just so they don't put it on the market.
Exactly.
So right now, sellers, this gives you so much leverage.
Yes.
So much leverage to dictate price, to dictate terms. I think sellers can even dictate what time they want to close on this.
Terms
So-
is a great word.
Terms. I came up with that.
I like it.
So, Blair, tell us about your story.
On this particular.
On any deal. You sell a lot of houses, but tell us about this deal.
Well, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, with this particular family, we had gone out a few times and looked at some stuff, and to be quite honest with you, had lost out on 2 multiple offers.
Oh, they're hurting.
So they had a little pain there, and they had already gone through that part and didn't want to go through it again, and were willing to offer that full asking price, and felt good about it because they felt like they won something this time too.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't just win the negotiation; they won the house.
There you go.
They got the house they wanted,
Yeah,
even though they may have to pay a little bit more, or they
Yeah.
may have to be more. They at least got the
Yeah.
house they wanted.
and they're as happy as they can be.
Okay, so sellers, do you think, now we don't know, we can often assume that we're going to be able to put your home on the market and it's going to sell within 7, 10, 18, whatever days. Now, the moment it comes on the market and it does not sell, the harder it gets for the seller to be demanding tough guy or tough girl.
Yeah.
Then it's more about what the market's giving you. Then, if it's 30 days, we're talking about a price reduction. So you can come out and think, I'm going to get more, and the market rejects you. You can get rejected.
Absolutely.
Have you ever seen that happen?
Yes.
What? Go ahead.
Hey, and then once you get rejected, here comes a price reduction. And here's everybody's thought process. What's wrong with it? Why didn't it sell? Let's go and offer $15,000 more less. Let's ask for the refrigerator, the washer and dryer, and the Toyota in the driveway. That's what happens when the offer rejects your house.
The negotiation game is really about who's got the most leverage. So whenever a coming soon is out there, it's this one person looking at this coming soon sign over here. This person knows the leverage is the big bad MLS.
That's right.
I don't want to compete with 200 other people. I want to compete just me and that person,
Yes.
one-on-one. And if he or she needs $2,500 more than what they're asking, if he or she doesn't want a home inspection, hey, that's some other terms that you might get into that you may have to do. you got to be willing to give up a lot more when you're buying a coming soon. Sellers, I'm gonna tell you, unless if you, I don't know how to say this, Weatherman. I'm tongue tied, but I can tell you, if you buy a coming soon, it's probably not going to come out your way unless it's just such a hard house to find. Unless you just
the buyers or sellers.
the buyer.
So you're saying if you buy the house first,
you buy, you're going to have to come in, and I believe usually the first offer is the best offer on
I
most
do too.
cases.
Hey, I'm gonna have to debate that one. So here's in my philosophy on it. If I'm a buyer and I got a buyer, you got a house. Blair's got a house to sell.
Now keep in mind, before I interrupt you.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, in February I bought a house coming soon.
Right. Now also, let's reverse the roles.
That I'm living in with
Hey.
Brittany Renee.
My buddy Blair had a coming soon, I believe, signed. He had a couple offers. We tried to get in there first. We made a great offer, but guess what? Somebody else made a better offer. So even though my offer was great and we may have overpaid, when it goes to market, somebody out there will probably beat your offer. So I don't know that I agree that the first buyer may end up not.
You may be right.
You know, because a lot of times I may lose out $5,000 or $7,000, which is about $28 a month, $30 a month for a house that I've done lost 3 times. So you said something very powerful. The first offer most of the time is your best offer because, in my opinion, in this market, if you don't have to compete, as bad as I hate to say that, I'm going to be saying the opposite if I'm on a multiple offer situation. But if somebody at Exit Realty has a coming soon sign and they work in the office with another Exit Realty, they have the same lenders, they do a lot of transactions together, chances are their best for their client is to work with that agent that they know very well. And now I may be another agent making a strong offer. My offer may be $5,000 more, but they've never done a deal with me. Sometimes it's not about the money you make on the house. It's about the process through the transaction, or we like to call it family affair over here.
Well, whenever you're selling your house, you need to look at the most money and the highest probability that it's going to close.
Right.
So if you're mistaken and think I want the most money, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to have the most probability. It could be the least amount of probability.
Yeah.
Stevie, have you represented on either side somebody? Stevie Zavisa's in here, by the way. A coming soon, where there's a coming soon sign. Your client called. I want to see that house. Have you ever sold one of those?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever had calls on them?
I did actually yesterday have a call on one.
Did you really?
There we go. So what his game plan more than likely is to try to get in that house, right?
Exactly.
What did you do? Did they want to go see it, or did you just give them their information and they just kept on driving?
No, they wanted to go see it, and then when they found out today that it was $10,000 over what they were, the cap of what they wanted to spend, they got scared.
Okay.
And I still tried to show it to them, but he backed out on me.
He didn't want to go see it.
That cold feet. Hey, but he'd probably come back around. So this is what that I'm seeing in the market. So let's just say we got a coming soon sign.
Yep.
And let's say that 10 people drive by, they see it, they go call their agent. Most coming soon guys, just to let y'all know, comes on Friday or Thursday, and it goes through the weekend and it hits the market on Monday. There's a reason there's coming soon, and the only way to say this, it's really to generate leads. And so I'm sorry to say that. I hope I didn't fluff any feathers, but coming soon generates the phone to ring. And we want the phone to ring because that's what gives us a business. So once we start dealing with all these phone calls, and come Monday morning, here comes the flood work. All these agents are calling. And Tommy said something. They're calling to know how big it is, how many square feet it is, what it looks like, what's the inside pictures. Well, guess what? If we got to answer all those, I've probably got somebody else that they don't care. They're like, hey, we'll buy it right now. And the same way, and I'm going to use this philosophy because I just come up with on this deal. If I see a coming soon and I have a buyer, I'm probably going to write an offer up before I even see the house. I'm going to write it up.
That's what hedge funds are doing. They're
Because,
not saying
hey,
that. That's what they're doing.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't it our fiduciary duty to show all offers?
Yeah.
So if they got an offer to present,
But we had an offer like that yesterday where somebody had not seen your listing, and we're gonna ask them those kind of questions.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is that goes back on the listing agent's responsibility if they're going to accept that and what they're.
It at least gets my offer in front of them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to take it, but if I've got a local lender, I've got a reputable, I do reputable business. I make a great offer. All I want to know is I just want to see the inside.
Well, really, what it's saying, Blair, your people had lost a few deals. They probably didn't ask all those questions. You probably didn't have to call and ask all. They just want to get in. They was, hey, just don't tell me about the details. Just let me get in this thing.
Right.
So whatever you're calling, like we'll put stuff up here. Kathleen is the greatest. She puts a lot of posts up here, and then I go back and I get notifications like, well, I need more details. Well, hey, I needed more time. I mean, you ran out of time. So if you see something coming like that, you're gonna have to.
Oh, first caller.
Hey! Do we want to do a speaker?
Yeah.
Good time, Tommy.
Hey, first time caller, long time listener.
Hey! I'm blushing.
So, 64280.
Ding! What can we do for you today, caller?
Hey, just want to say how much I appreciate you guys. Murfreesboro can't do without you guys. We appreciate everything that you do for the community.
Hey, have you shared this stream?
Yeah.
We're gonna go and we're gonna get your information, and you're gonna get an Alley on gift card, an Alley on Main gift card.
First time caller is the winner this week.
Hey,
Because
we had somebody. Sir, thank you so much for calling in. We really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
I
A
was,
phone call. Hey, how often does that happen on Real Estate 101?
There we go.
So, hey, do we have any questions? Does any of our people out here have any questions?
here's a question I got. I propose to anybody out there. How can you make your offer stand out in a coming soon? So Stevie Savisa, how can you, if you want to make an offer on a $225,000 house, how could you present your offer to where I do not put that house on the market?
It's a Godfather offer. It's like too good to pass up, or what? Don't give me a reason to say no. I can only say yes.
No contingency whatsoever.
No contingency. No financing contingency.
You gotta have that bad boy.
That
Because if you get a loan, if it's not a cash offer, you got to do.
contingency meaning I have to sell the house to get it.
I'll tell you something we've even been able to do. I don't know if you're still on here, Belinda, but sometimes when they call in, we can even say, for us to take your offer, you got to go over here to our bank.
Well, it's probably not legal, so hey, we may or may not.
Well,
do that.
I mean, the reason why, hey, you don't have to use them, but we want you pre-qualified by them.
And I'm gonna tell you what, Belinda, and I like to. She's like a
Can we
pretty,
edit that part out?
She's like a pretty parakeet in a jungle. I like her. You just want.
Oh.
Hey!
Hey, back to Belinda in a minute.
Good time, Tommy.
Hey, first time caller, listen all the time. 6860.
Ooh,
Ooh, hey, I only have one friend that's that tall.
ooh, we like him too.
Hey, how long before this real estate revival y'all got going on?
Hey,
It's gonna last till it ends, sir. It's gonna last till it crashes.
I tell you what, when you think positive, great things are coming. So hey, I don't see no end in sight, my friend.
Sir, let me ask you this question: How long do you think it's gonna last?
Oh, I think probably late 18, early 19.
Okay. Well, do you think prices are higher in 2017 than they were in 1917?
Are they high?
Golly, I think you can buy a house in 1970.
Are prices higher in 2017 or 1917?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm old.
Hey, did your granddaddy have a $400,000 house in 2017? Or, I'm sorry, 1917?
Hey, Colin, we appreciate you calling in. We hate to call you out on live radio, but
No, to answer your phone call, that is a great question, and that's something we all want to know. Unfortunately, there's no way. But I do want to say this, and caller, we appreciate you. Roll Tide. We appreciate you calling in. I did read something the other day in Texas. Texas is a leading indicator, and this was for new construction houses. For the first time since the recovery, there was a month-over-month decline in sales price for new homes. And it was not because of more inventory. It was because that the consumers in Texas have just said it's too much. We can't keep paying this. And the experts that I was listening to feel like this is probably a trend that's 6 months to a year out of in front of the rest of us. So let's just say if it was a year ahead of us, what would that be? Almost 2019. Well, what if we say there's still so many people coming to this area? Real estate is always geographical. We don't check the weather to go to Las Vegas. We don't check Nashville weather if we're going to Las Vegas. Same thing goes for real estate. It's so localized. What's going on around here could be so special. It could last a lot longer. I did talk to a buyer, or an agent that represents one of those hedge funds that have probably bought thousands of homes in our market.
Yeah.
And they have decided they're going to continue to buy for the next 7 to 10 years. And they're also loosening their restrictions. So they're going to be even more aggressive, which is going to make it even tougher for first-time home buyers.
I don't think we're going to have a big fallout in late 18, early 19. I think we just got maybe a leveling off. But a leveling off means it'll still be just as good as it is now.
That's right. We hope.
That's right. Now, the last caller, he got something at the alley. I just think like a couple pieces of chicken, a biscuit.
You know what? We're gonna track down your information, and you too will get an Alley on Main gift card. $25.
Mr. Caller, we appreciate you calling
Caller,
in.
we can't do without you. Good talking to you, friend. Roll Tide. Thank you very much. We have had 2 calls. Can anybody from the audience, would y'all like to call perhaps?
For Alley on Main gift card. So, to go back to, we were talking about to Stevie and Belinda. So, I may even have Belinda, and as good as Belinda is, I've been in a multiple offer situation. Well, my preferred lender, who I got partnership with her, she called my selling agent for me and vouched for this buyer. So you want to talk about something powerful. When I'm in a multiple offer situation and my lender calls the selling agent and says, hey, take this guy's offer. He is solid. I guarantee the loan. Guess who got that deal?
Weatherman.
This guy. And it was a multiple offer under 250 on acres. And man, it was hard to win. And we won it.
What would have happened if a mortgage person from
Quicken Loans.
Quicken Loans called up and said, you got to take this?
They'd have probably been real nice, and I appreciate you calling, and hope you have a great day, and took my offer. But, so, we're talking about making our offers great. That's one way. High earnest money. And now, some people don't have a lot of earnest money. If you can do a couple $1,000, $3,000, if you're going to put $10,000 down, put $10,000 down. You're going to pay it down anyway in 30 days. That's one. Home inspection, we can't ever recommend you doing that. That's a big one. Appraisal, if you want to pay over appraisal, but if you're going to pay over appraisal, put some non-refundable earnest money to cover that amount to make your offer stand out. So once you bring a home run deal and somebody looks at it, it's very hard to say no.
I'm going to give you some advice if you're buying a home and it's coming soon. If that home is $1 million and it's got coming soon, let the market tell you what it's worth. Would you agree? The coming soon is only relative to where there's so much demand.
Yeah.
Under $450,000, unless it's just a cool, unique home, I wouldn't let that coming soon bother me. The lower you get in price, the more weight that coming soon sign has. So remember, coming soon signs are much more valuable under $250,000.
Absolutely. And with our coming soon, just to give you a little input, I know we got some agents out there that's a little bit upset at us. The terms to my folks were, they got 4 kids or 3 kids. They didn't have to show the house. They didn't have to worry about cleaning up. They could go ahead and start packing. They've already had their house. They removed that contingency. And so you want to talk about making a seller happy when they can go at the next 30 days. It's going to be chaos. They don't have to deal with 30 people showing the houses. They don't have to keep picking up. Man, they were ecstatic. I mean, they could have cared less if it was $15,000 more because the terms made them very, very happy.
Do we have any more questions before we've been
You
going?
do have a good one from Jessica Blackwell.
Yeah, she was one. Sorry, Jessica.
She's got a client wanting to buy now, but they've only been in their home 1 year. So because of the value, they want to sell now, but they'll have to pay capital gains tax. What is the benefit of buying now instead of waiting until next year when they wouldn't have to pay that tax?
Well, I think first off, you can never just look at one part of the big picture. The big picture for them is they're wanting to move, they're wanting to go somewhere else. So what would it be if they waited, prices go up, interest rates go up? What would the savings be? And why do they really want to move? What's the reason? Jessica, how much is their house going up? You know, more than likely they're probably not going to make
$50,000. If they did, that's not a bad thing to have to pay capital gains on a profit like that.
Yeah, so the capital gains are going to be based off of what the basis of the property, the purchase was. Then it goes up. So any expenses that you've got in that house, you can use against that. If you've done landscaping, if you've done any repairs or added any type of value to that house, you can use that. Then, of course, you can always use, you're always going to count the commission in there. So more than likely, the gain's not as much as they think. They've been in a year, it's going to be a 20% gain against the net gain.
Yeah. And what's amazing is how cool is it that you've been in a house a year and you can sell it and not have to pay the real estate commission.
Yeah.
You know, so you pay the real estate commission and make some money in this market we're in right now.
I think a lot of people are confused on hey, Roy Frazier, the greatest insurance guy. I see you sneaking on here. I think a lot of people are mistaken as opposed to the capital gains tax on what you pay versus what you net is the capital gains. A lot of people are concerned about what they pay versus what they get back, their monies that they're getting.
Right.
That ain't your capital gains. And you, more than likely, you did not depreciate your house while you're there a year. On investment properties, you own something, you have a depreciated scale that lowers your basis. But like Weatherman said, if you buy a house and you're selling it within a year, and you can break out without paying a commission, that's already 6%. Unless they just got a great deal, Jessica, more than likely they're gonna have to pay very little capital gains.
Very little.
Very little, unless somehow, some way. But think about that 6%. Then you start factoring in things.
Hey, if you're in that under 300 range and you were wanting to build a bigger house, this is the best time to probably resell because the inventory is plentiful over 400. So if you are wanting that extra house, there may be some added value to sell something a year ago that you think, well, hey, I need a little bit more space. It may be the very best time to sell right now.
Do we have any more questions? Anybody from the audience? And thank everybody in the audience for being here.
And there are 2 Alley on Main recipients.
We
this
got
week.
2 people from the Alley on Main.
So straight from the gut, we apologize in advance. You will not be getting an Alley
Straight
on
from the
Main.
gut, we're out of stuff to give you. But tomorrow night, me and Brittany Renee are going to go live. We're going to square off. What are we talking about tomorrow? We're talking about being a know-it-all.
Mansplaining.
Mansplaining. I'm talking about mansplaining on my baby straight from the gut tomorrow night. Do you know what mansplaining means? It's when I state something so obvious. It's like being Captain Obvious. You ever seen Captain Obvious commercials? That's mansplaining, and nothing pisses my girlfriend off more than me saying, hey, you need to turn right there.
Well, that'd be like a know-it-all.
Oh, yeah. No. But no. Well, here's how I derive, okay? Whenever, Brittany, I'm sorry, whenever she's telling me something, and I already know, like she started into the conversation and she's saying things, I'm not great at listening, okay? I want to skip the listening part and go into the fixing part. Well, that makes women mad. But hey, how do you get better at it? And what should you do? That's where it came from, Kathleen. Damn it. Whenever they're telling you something that you know is wrong, should you listen or should you be the know-it-all and speak up and tell them the truth? What do you think, Blair?
Tune in
Your
tomorrow
girlfriend
night.
will know.
I got no comment.
Tune in tomorrow
Cousin
night.
Charlie, you're great with marriage. What do you recommend?
No comment.
You're great with me.
So see, I feel like Ryan Denny capital gains also depends on which tax bracket you're in. Ryan Denny. Hey, Ryan Denny, go ahead. You are always welcome to post your beautiful house, because you're about to be my neighbor, on my page and whatever you want to say there, because
And guys, Ryan Denny has a beautiful house. And
got a
guess
beautiful
what?
house.
He is selling it for sale by owner. So tune in and see what he does. I mean, he's got a lot of pictures. He's Ryan Denny, I'll go ahead and give it to him. The dude, him and his wife, can mack out a house. Their house, everywhere they live, has been top notch. So anything we can do, hopefully we got a buyer for you. But man, good luck to you.
Good. Hey, go ahead and put it right there, buddy. And your house is great. And hey, maybe you can sell your house on your own. And that's something that we can talk about on here one day, because that post yesterday kind of went cray-cray.
Ooh, got a little rough, didn't it?
It did get crazy. Got real crazy. But hey, Ryan, go ahead and post that house on our wall, and I can't wait to get over to your new house. Have that party coming soon party.